Good morning, everybody. It is August 8th. You're watching MarketStream.live, and my name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group Securities offered by MoneyBlock. And this is where I'm going to go over all the action that occurred overnight in the Asian markets and currently what's going on in the European markets. And there is a lot that you need to pay attention to today. In the overnight action, we had China missed on both exports and imports, and it was pretty significant. Exports came in at 11.2%. Expectation was a little over 14.4%. You saw that imports came in at 14.7%. Expectation was right around closer to 17 or 22%, excuse me. Now, immediately, the People's Bank of China did do a pretty large infusion of capital at 140 billion yuan. That held up the market, but you can see right now that the Shanghai did finish up $2.40, 41 cents to be exact, still above the 20 and 50-day moving average. So the bulls are clearly still in control in China, but there is some uncertainty now with this slowdown from what has been a red-hot first and second quarter. Taking a look at Hong Kong, the Hang Seng held up very well as well. What was part and parcel of why these markets held up despite the fact that they had disappointing imports-exports was not only the infusion of capital, but also gaming names as well as some consumer names did very well. You also saw some technology names, most notable AAC Technologies up 1.2%, and the gaming names up roughly about 2.4%. So watch some casino names here in the United States early on the open. Taking a look at the Nikkei, the Nikkei finished down 59. Now, Japan, bottom line is that the yen strength continues to put pressure on the markets, and it's in between its 20 and 50-day moving average. What does that mean? That means that there's a battle for the bulls. If the bulls lose this ground right here, this red line, that's the 50-day moving average, right around 19,942 on the Nikkei Stock Exchange Index. That means that the bears are going to start to gain some control. Let's watch this very closely, especially since last week there was a cabinet shakeup in Prime Minister Abe's administration, and the strength in the yen continues. That's going to put pressure on exporters. Watch, for example, Mazda, Panasonic, both down over 1% overnight. So you can clearly see that Asia is mixed, and the infusion in capital helped with the disappointing miss on imports and export expectations in the Asian continent. One other notable component is taking a look at the Sensex in India. We're starting to see that the Indian markets are succumbing to pressure. Short-term bulls are under pressure right now, drop below its 20-day moving average for the first time since basically the beginning of July, where this momentous move to the upside has occurred. Now, we have a couple components here that are moving to the downside in India. Dr. Reddy's, a drug stock, specifically down about 4.46%. We've seen that sector under pressure over the last week. You're also seeing banks as well as technology consulting groups both down. Now, this action right here is also some action that we haven't seen in quite a long time in India. Let's watch this battle area. There's a big gap between the 20 and 50-day moving average. So we'll see if it can, but the potential for it to move a couple hundred points, as we saw overnight, it can do it. All right, let's shift gears and take a look at what's going on right now in Europe. I'm going to take a look at the bond markets first of all. The French 10-year down 0.1%. The German 10-year basically flat the British, and then the German 10-year is also flat as well. What does this mean? That means that bonds are not moving to the downside as far as price action. That means yields are basically staying flat. You should expect then to see some little pressure in financials. But specifically, take a look at the DAX. They missed. Germany missed on their imports and exports, came in at 4.9%. And we haven't seen that level in quite some time, but came in at 4.5% on imports, and exports came in at 2.8%. Those missed expectations, and again, seeing Germany and China, two of the largest importers and exporters on their respective continents and in their regions. This is something that you're going to see us putting a pause on some upside. You're seeing that the DAX right now is down about 0.4%, almost 0.5%. Today. Watch EWG right now. Looks like it's going to be opening up down a little bit under pressure. Now taking a look at the French CAC, basically you're seeing that large caps are under pressure and techs. There's a lot of mixed action in tech in the French CAC, plus the fact Macron, the current president and new president of France, he's under some pressure. There is now some doubt creeping in whether or not he can put in the reforms, which is what got him voted in. Taking a look at the French ETF, basically setting up to be down about a penny in the pre-markets. Taking a look at the UK markets, you see that the FTSE right now is trading down about 690. What's notable here, consumer names. You're seeing a name, Paddy Power, is one of the most notable ones, trading to the downside. Again, down today, and it's down about 4.4% early in the action. But you can clearly see it is well above its 20 and its 50-day moving average, but that's after two impressive moves to the upside last couple of sessions. Let's see if we start to see lower lows and lower highs. That could be an indication that there's some pressure. Taking a look at the British pound, though, British pound continues to slide. We'll watch this because weakness in the British pound will take some pressure off. What's also notable, watch the miners today. The miners could have some volatility in it since there was a no confidence vote in the current president of South Africa. So I'm going to watch the miners very closely. The euro, we'll continue to watch the euro, but it looks like the euro is firming up. Both the you could see the pairs trade where the euro is on top of the US dollar. That continues to move to the upside this morning ever so slightly, up a little over 0.16% this morning. Watch that. Euro strength may put a little bit more pressure as well. All right, folks, that is it right now for the Asian and for the European markets, giving you a complete update, setting the table. Now we're going to jump in and we're going to check out what's going on in about a half hour in the U.S. markets. So we'll see you then here at MarketStream.live. Have a great day.